take time to cool off when you're upset, so you don't say something stupid that you don't mean. Those bad words last forever, so don't say them. Never disrespect yourself for another person. As someone who waited around too long for someone who wasn't interested and begged for the bare minimum, trust me, don't let someone keep you on the shelf. Sometimes it's difficult to say whether someone is interested or not. They show interest but sometimes don't. And I'm just living and hoping they are interested in me, but I'm truly unsure of what's going on. After 25 years of marriage, be honest. Yes, there may be a fight or hurt feelings, but honesty allows for explanation and communication. And surprisingly, after a couple of years, you'll start listening first and judging second. Well, most of the time anyway. Honesty is so important. Lies give me anxiety, giving or receiving. It's freeing to not have to deal with that. Don't set yourself on fire to keep your partner warm. This was a hard one to learn. You want to do whatever you can to make them happy, but sometimes there's nothing you can do, and it's really hard to realize that. Don't forget who you are while dating someone. I lost a lot of me trying to change myself for a toxic person, but in the end they rose and I sank. Same here. I didn't even notice myself changing. I just thought I was being a good person by supporting them so much. Never assume. You need to clarify. Always clarify before you process. Always process with time. Always take time to be alone. Come back to issues with an unclouded mind and face them together. It's never you versus your partner. It's always you and your partner versus the issue. The whole you and your partner versus the issue is something I'm deeply happy my partner stands by always. Every time we've had an issue/roadblock, he always reminds me that we are in it together, that I don't have to think about a solution alone. It's honestly the most comforting thing in the world. It brings me a ton of emotional security, knowing that he's with me, no matter what issue we are facing. He's taught me so much about communicating. He's always let me know that he's there for me. He makes me want to be a better person every day, and I genuinely love him for it. 4 years in, and he just keeps getting better. Try to take a step back, to listen what she is saying, and why she is saying without jumping to conclusions. One way I heard it was, to not go in with a strategy of how you want or think the conversation should go. I'm going to steal from a fellow Redditor. It has stuck with me. A great partnership is one where each of you is striving to do 60% of the work. I'm thinking about that now as I lay in bed on my phone, while the dishwasher needs to be emptied. I recently said this to a friend about why my relationship works. We both strive to make the other's life easier. If she never apologizes for anything, or is never wrong, just run. The whole happy wife happy life is bullshit. Happy spouse happy house. Communication and respect of the individual. Basically set your boundaries early on, and do your best to understand your partner's boundaries. This requires trust and empathy. If you don't have those two things, you're probably not going to have a good relationship. Can you give an example of a boundary that you'd set early in a relationship? Paternity tests are significantly cheaper than child support. You know what's even cheaper than that? Be yourself. Don't become small to better suit them. Trust your instinct. Communicate bravely and authentically. Instinct is a big one. If something feels wrong, don't ignore it. Whatever it is, it's at least worth introspecting about. Little things will accumulate if you don't address them as they come up. You can't predict if someone else will cheat on you or treat you badly. All you can do is reassure yourself that whatever happens, you will overcome it and be okay. Also, being insecure or too eager to please, in order to avoid these things from happening, will probably make them self-fulfilling prophecies. Better to just work on yourself constantly and be content with who you are. That way, if you do get betrayed, you'll be the best version of yourself as you move on. Have boundaries, mutual respect, and open communication. If they don't have these as well, move on. If she makes bizarre baseless accusations of you cheating, it's a massive red flag. Keyword, baseless. If you're being sketchy, even if you're not cheating, prepare to be doubted, and rightfully so. It's not on your partner to be without worry in the absence of 100% irrefutable evidence. Sometimes a change in behavior is enough to take legitimate notice. Never marry my ex. Asterisk. I see by the upvotes, several of you have met her. Asterisk. Same here. Not sure your scenario, but yes, there was a reason my ex-wife was single for a long time before we met. It was for a reason. Pretty sure she had an undiagnosed bipolar disorder. So nice, then got very mean, then very nice for a day, then a week's worth of pointless battles. When I ask her if she's hungry, she almost always says no, but that translates to I'm not hungry enough to make myself some food, but I'll eat if you're cooking. So for weekend breakfast the conversation goes like, are you hungry? No, 2 eggs, 2 slices of roast. Yes please. But what's your fetish though? F. If she asks for something in her purse, just bring the purse. Do women openly dislike this? Absolutely. Am I about to shuffle through her purse for 10 minutes? Absolutely not. Very true. My mother always told me not to shuffle through other people's pockets or purses. Back when I used to live with her, she always called me down to take out the rubbish out of my pockets before she threw my clothes into a washing machine. Lick it before you stick it. How else do you get the envelope to seal? The first time they lose their S asterisk 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 on you over an imagined slight, fucking run. It's a huge red flag when they are upset over nothing. It usually means they're either upset about something else they don't want to tell you about, but will hold the resentment for use later. Or, they've had trauma in their lives that they haven't dealt with, so they get upset at the dumbest things in your eyes because it triggers a memory/inkling of the past trauma. This go for everyone, not just women. Don't overlook the signs people give you. If they get upset at your boundaries, run. Not to put up with abuse, even verbal. It always gets worse. Sounds cliche, but total honestly. Be best friends. Tell each other everything. Never lie. Communicate. Also learn to listen and be at least a little bold with her cues. Women tend to talk about you on third person. Forgive quickly. 100% yes. Let's clarify that forgiving doesn't mean enabling. Forgiving someone isn't giving them permission to do the thing again. It's an internal step you make to ensure a molehill doesn't become a mountain. She doesn't want you to problem solve, she wants empathy with a deep voice. This is the best response yet. If they can't make time for you, intentional or not, they are not the one. Communicate what you need for the relationship to be successful. Too many people care more about keeping the peace and continuing the relationship than they do about optimizing it. If something isn't working, you have to say something. Always be honest. If they do not apologize for small things, saying it's just a basic thing, they might not apologize for a big thing. If you can't count on them for the small things, how can you count on them for the big things? Nobody that trusts and loves you will need to go through your phone, computer, or tablet to verify you are being faithful. If they have to, either they don't trust you, or you violated that trust previously. I think my partner trusts me, but if they look through my phone I wouldn't mind at all. I keep nothing from her, and don't mind her wanting to see what I'm up to. This one is weird. Y'all don't give full access to phones out here? Being able to be open with a partner is a joy.